What's up, everybody? It's me, Wildest, and I just finished watching Van Persie SkySports interview. Oh, don't forget to click subscribe. Up there, I think it is. Up there. Up there, yeah, up there. I just finished watching that, and I just wanted to give my thoughts on Van Persie. And like, I'm an Arsenal supporter first and foremost. I support football. I watch other clubs play. I'm not opposed to watching other teams and things like that. And the main things I got from his interview is that he was he really wanted to come across in a really comfortable way, and in a really relaxed way. And yeah, it's true, he did. He came across really relaxed and really comfortable. Since his move to Arsenal, a lot of Arsenal fans have since cut ties with anything to do with him. I mean, they trash him, they hate him, they want nothing to do with him. And obviously, initially, I was very upset when I heard he was leaving. He was the captain, club captain, regardless of who. If he was going abroad, some random club, I'd still be annoyed and upset. The very fact that it was United definitely intensified it, because I know what their fans are like. That's as simple as it is. But I always maintained when he left that, to me, he was an Arsenal legend. I mean, I only properly started watching football around 2006. So literally when Arsenal, I've not watched Arsenal lift the trophy yet. Basically, I've seen us lose the final to Barca, lose the final to Chelsea, lose the final to who else was it? Birmingham City. I've seen these things, but I've not seen us lift the trophy yet. And Van Persie has had a lot to do over those last 6-7 years whilst I've been watching football, and he's been amazing for me to watch. I watched most of his goals. When he left, I was so pissed off at him. But then you realise he's a centurion. He scored over 100 goals. He'd done his bit for the club, and he mentioned it quite a few times. Is that he was there for 8 years. 8 years in any place is going to become, you're going to feel a certain way about it, depending on who you are. Whether it's 8 years working in a pub, 8 years working in an office, 8 years doing fuck all. You know, you're gonna want to change it eventually. And I can see why he didn't think there was enough change happening at Arsenal, because considering what football is, it is constantly changing. And at Arsenal, it hasn't changed enough. They moved to the Emirates, and they haven't seen anything change yet as much. No change in manager, which is another thing which could keep a player at the club. No matter how much respect Van Persie has for Arsene Wenger, he mentioned that in the video a few times. He has respect for him, but something in terms of changing and being shown new things, which is what he referenced to experiencing at Man United. And you can see that him going to United, him interacting with Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, these players who've played with the likes of Van Nistelrooy, these players who've played with the likes of Cantona, these players who can basically show him a trick or two. Even the managers are not the same. Wenger is not equal to Ferguson. They have conflicting skills and things like that. So for Van Persie to say that he's experiencing new things and he's happy, I don't have a bitterness towards it, and he's right. I wish we could find an adequate replacement for him, but so far we haven't. Who's to say we won't? Or who's to say with the players we have already can't replace the goals contribution? Because talking strictly on goals, we haven't replaced that, which is a problem. United simply added to that. They added the goals, which is very good. And at first I was very angry with Van Persie, the way he left the club. Because when Fabregas left, the amount of respect he showed towards Arsenal was, you couldn't ask for more. He mentioned them in his first interview, he'll mention them in his most recent interview, he'll mention the manager, and he'll mention all of what they did for him, which is fair enough. At first it was a stark contrast to what Van Persie was doing, in which case he didn't really talk up Arsenal at all. He only really wanted to talk about himself and his future, which is fair enough. He had his own interest at heart. But it was only until recently I've seen him show a bit of respect towards the club in terms of what he says. He says they're a big club, they're still a big club, he still treads carefully on the work when it comes to saying whether we have potential to win trophies. He did say that we're both United and Arsenal big clubs, but he didn't explicitly mention that they can win trophies, that they have chance. He's not going to go into that sort of thing, whether we need to change anything or do this and do that. And I kind of wish the interviewer would ask more testing questions. You know, do you think Arsenal will win a trophy this year, next year, blah blah blah? Do you think that had you stayed at Arsenal you would have won a trophy? Do you think that if other players had not left the club, would you have won a trophy? Questions like that I would love to ask him, and I probably know what the answer is. He's gonna say what most Arsenal fans would say, that we probably wouldn't win the trophy still. You know, we're stuck in a rut, basically, a very long rut, eight years long rut, in fact, coinciding with Van Persie's time here. So it's fair enough. Also, he kept mentioning that he's having fun. Now, you could take it two ways. You could say at Arsenal he was not having fun, or that at United he's having much more fun. I think it's a bit of both. He definitely got too used to it at Arsenal. It wasn't fun anymore. And at United, he's literally valued as this grand asset. £24 million, okay, not the biggest transfer fee in the world, but still a massive transfer fee. They basically signed the Premier League top goal scorer. Barr could easily do similar goal scoring feats at Chelsea if he starts all the time, but it's not going to happen as much yet because Torres is still in the picture. There's another thing I wanted to mention that Van Persie kept talking about. It slipped my mind. But yes, his goal scoring form hasn't dipped since moving clubs, and you don't really expect it to. You know, he's not playing against different teams or players. His game, he says, has changed quite a bit, or it changes game to game. I guess so, but at the end of the day, you got to finish the chance. Boom, put it in the net. That's what he was doing at Arsenal. That's what he's doing at United now. Definitely, it pains me every single time he scores. Yet I still have him in my fantasy football team because I know he's going to. So it's a bit of cognitive dissonance, you know. When he scores, I'm angry, but when he scores, I'm happy. So I'm at least going to benefit from that. When he eventually comes to the Emirates, I think it's in about a month's time, 2 months' time, to play Arsenal, it's going to be really, really difficult to watch that game because I really, really want Arsenal to win, and I don't want him to do well, but I don't want him to fuck up. You know, I don't really care about the guy that much, but he's not the backstabber. He's not Judas. He's not all this stuff that everyone says. He's not just about the money. He was about a change. He's about a change, and that's what most Arsenal fans are about. They're about a change at the club. I regret him having to leave. And I remember. He kept saying that this is his biggest challenge yet. His biggest challenge yet was going to United, and he probably doesn't mean it in the footballing sense, as in biggest challenge players playing against or playing with different players. In fact, I think it was the biggest challenge to leave somewhere where you're so comfortable. It's a personal challenge. It was the biggest personal challenge which most people face, which is getting out of a rut and changing, going from one place where you're comfortable, not resisting the change. That's what he was talking about when he said the boy inside him. He literally meant the boy inside him told whoever else he has inside him to stop resisting it and just go with it. And that is what he's talking about when it comes to the challenge. If he meant in the footballing way challenge, then obviously the biggest challenge would not be playing for United. It would be playing for Arsenal and trying to win a trophy with them, because we've been so barren over the last 8 years. That being said, I respect the guy, and he says he doesn't have any bad feelings towards the fans, but he probably does. Let's be honest. But yeah, you should go and watch the video yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Watch Van Persie's interview because it's quite interesting, and you'd watch it anyway, whether it was your own favourite players video or a player you hated, just to get an insight. So I recommend you go over to SkySports News and watch that. So this has been me, Wildest Gameplay. Remember, it's victory through harmony. This is Victoria Concordia Crescit. In Arsenal we trust. And if you like this video, please subscribe.